This is your daily briefing, and you are, of course, immensely welcome to it. Chaos incorporated, and I just think everybody needs to take a step back. I'm really pleased we won. It's one of the few Tottenham games I've actually watched all the way through this season. Big confession there, but I think most of you were in the same boat. Conte is attempting to climb Mount Everest. He's opened his knapsack and he sees inside a child's Bible, 3 individual socks and a time-expired Kit Kat. That's what he's up against. So all this talk of we've got to improve, yeah, I don't think so. Pros are we won. Pros are that we didn't make ourselves look too stupid because we won, and only because we won. Absolutely shocking game, but it was gripping stuff. The only thing I would say is I'm really hesitant to make huge definitive statements after what was a footballing version of the wacky racism of the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And so it's frankly bananas today. See on your line, yards of pronouncements, loads of shouting, loads of just empty, sort of not even knee-jerk, just people hollering into the night. So apparently just after this game, Højbjerg is now suddenly a waste of flesh. That's a new one on me. And Emerson Royal, one of the best players in Europe. I hate to break it to you. Look, I'm not going to go through the numbers because the pile-on from the nitwits, why can't you enjoy it? Well, I did enjoy it. I told you I enjoyed it. But I'm just saying that if you looked at Emerson Royal, what he achieved against Manchester United, where we got beaten 3-0, he actually had a better game than he did last night against Vitesse. Lots of shouting from the usual peddlers of empty tosh. Here in the city, or here is the city, whatever that's called. Conte has transformed him already. Some Spurs fans blown away by excellent showing. And believe it or don't, they're actually talking about Harry Winks playing against 10 men after being presumably, had it whispered in his ear, can you try and go forward? There's an awful lot of today as well, awful lot of awfulness with people just aggregating blindly. And they're using this technique of, it was in Calcio Mercato, therefore it's a legit transfer rumour. It was in goal, it was in... Nobody cares. This is absolute junk. So you're telling us that the junk is transformed, is rejuvenated, and yet Conte's wish list is as long as the wall of China. Doesn't make any sense. Jamie Carragher in the Telegraph. Antonio Conte is a serial winner. So why has he joined Spurs then? Yeah, just what we needed, Jamie. Conte hasn't joined Tottenham to settle for their usual mediocrity. He's a winner and Daniel Levy must be subservient. That's a very big word for somebody who sounds like a car alarm most of the time when they're talking. Interesting quotes from Harry Kane in The Guardian on Conte. It shows great ambition, to be honest. His resume speaks for itself. Everyone knows what he's done as a manager. You have to respect that. We have a manager that believes in us, and his appointment shows that. Antonio's won trophies at the highest level and with the biggest clubs, so everyone is excited to work under him, and that passion he shows is something you thrive on. You go into games wanting to put your body on the line for him. And I think that we saw a fair bit from that from Harry Kane last night. A deeply unpolished performance from him, but, you get what you get. We haven't reached the standards we wanted the last couple of years, blah, blah, blah. Manager helped turn us around. But it is about us and how we take it in, because he has done it. He has nothing to prove. I think you'll find Mr. Levy will pull you up on that one. What he's really up against here, and we're going to keep coming back to this, so roll your eyes, have a free eye roll on me, but it's going to be down to Antonio's ability to turn some loaves and fishes into a 3-course meal for 61,000 people. That's where he's going to be put to the test. And all this mumbling about improving, we'll get very uncomfortable about that, because it was the undoing of Nuno Espirito Santo. Kane goes on, make sure every minute of our lives we're trying to improve and win for the team, blah, blah, blah. The line about the players needs, we've covered that. So Conte said after the game, I want to repay the trust from Tottenham. This club has great potential. I was enthusiastic about the stadium and the training ground. I don't know any other club in the world that has these facilities. Tottenham are a top club. Is there even a single child in a village in Afghanistan or somewhere that hasn't heard this? I don't know if I'm not sure if I've covered this before, but is Daniel feeding all this in the hope that because they hear it from somebody else, or they hear it for the seventh, 1,000th time, that some sponsor's going to suddenly emerge? I just don't. I think they're actually overselling the whole thing at this stage, and the first priority is to get the football team working. Tottenham could be a top club, but the owner's continual neglect has prevented the realisation of it becoming a top club. And you don't win trophies with stadium and facilities. All very admirable, but we've got debt in their place. Was it 5,000 days since anybody from the club actually lifted a real competitive trophy? Everton will tell us much, much more, primarily because they are in the same league as us, and they've also been serving up some rotten football of late. In other news, West Ham have reminded us what abysmal human beings can achieve after a few beers on an aeroplane, and I hope the gendarmes get Ryanair to hand over the flight itinerary and start to go through that video. Can't tell you enough how that stuff makes me very, very angry. Spurs won the game, but it was Matty's Spurs who won the internet with this home run of a tweet. If Lo Celso was on that grassy knoll back in 1963, JFK would still be alive today. Right, that's your lot. Everton up next. Good luck and keep it Tottenham.